Good morning, this is Jacob Folger, sculptor, and today we're going to sculpt a figure in clay. And we're going to be using a self-hardening clay. It's water-based, and there's different kinds, but the ones I like to use the most are Marblex or Mexican clay. And the one thing that you have to remember is when you buy it, sometimes if it sits on the shelf for a long time, it gets hard. So you're going to want to make sure that it's soft and pliable and moist like this clay is here, so that you can actually move it with your hands. And do that before you buy it. A couple other things we're going to need is we're going to need a paintbrush, a small paintbrush like this, and wood sculpting tool, and all this stuff you can get at either an art supply store or a craft store, a craft type store. And then a sharp knife. You can use a paring knife like this or an X-Acto blade knife like this. And then we're going to need a cup of water. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. What I want to do is I want to do a figure that is standing up. I've done some other videos. How to sculpt miniature figures in clay is one, and there's other versions of that. And they're all sitting. All the figures that I'm doing are sitting. So I wanted to do something that was standing. The only problem is if you're doing something small like this that's standing up, is it's not going to stand up very easily unless it has some support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little backing for it to stand against. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm forming a little wall type situation with the clay like this for the figure to stand up against. You can see how I'm doing that. I'm just basically forming it with my hands to make a rectangular shape. Okay, and then there should be a base for the feet to stand on, and basically you can roll between your hands, you can roll a round shape, and then you can make it oblong by rolling it to and fro like this, and just press it against here like that, and then blend it in. And when I say blend, I'm talking about taking the clay of one piece and blending it together with the other piece by moving the clay with your fingers, or you could use a tool like this and just blend it all the way around so it's got some structural integrity. There we go. So we'll have it like that. Okay, now, so I want to do a standing figure, so I'm going to start off with the legs. And basically, I roll a ball of clay either between my fingers or between the palms of my hands, or like this. And basically you just want a uniform length of clay. Like that. Okay. And fold it so it's like two legs like that. And then press it into place. Now what I'm going to do is I want his legs to be kind of crossed like this, just to give him kind of a relaxed appearance. I pretty much always refer to my my characters as him or he. They seem to come to life for me like that. So he looks fairly relaxed there like that. Okay, next I'll roll a small noodle or oblong shaped like this for his torso. And I'll just press that into place there. Okay. And next I'll form his arms, also by rolling a noodle between my fingers or palms of my hands. You can also roll in between your fingers. For sake of the video, I'm trying to make sure that you can see everything that I'm making, that everything I'm doing. So, and it's just hard because I've actually got the camera between me, my eye and the piece to make sure that the video comes out, because sometimes my camera shuts off on me, and it's very frustrating when that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this, make that a little bit more uniform there. I'm just gonna put the arms right up on top here and then blend that in. They're a little long, but that's okay because we can deal with that in a minute. Now I'm gonna make the head, and just to make it a little bit interesting for this figure, make sure I get the right size here. I'm gonna make the head a cat. It's gonna be a cat's head because I think I wanna I just want to do that. So basically I've got this round of clay, and I press my thumb in to form the eyes, where the eyes would go, and the bridge of the nose, and then take a small bit of clay and put it on the end here for the tip of the nose, and blend it in. There we go. And then I'll take a small bit of clay for the whisker area and just press it into place there, in a second one for the other side. And then blend that in. And you can see it's just coming out as a cat face now. And then down under a little piece for his lower jaw. Okay, since I'm joining the head here to the torso, I'm gonna just, sometimes it's best to do a little scoring of the head and the top of the neck, like that, and then just take a dab of, with the paintbrush, take a dab of water and put it on both, and then that way it'll join together a lot better. It's a little rough, but that's all right. We'll blend it all in and make it look pretty cool here in a little bit. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do is give him a raincoat, so he's kind of be like hanging out like in an alley, like an alley cat. So I'll roll a noodle of clay, and basically I'm just going to dress him up in a raincoat. So let's put this here. Okay, so I'll just loop that back around so it looks like he's wearing a raincoat, and then I'll make another noodle for the other side. You can see it's really simple, and it'll take a little bit of practice at first, to get used to doing it, but once you get used to doing it, it's so much fun, and it's really good for you. It's good for your kids. It's just a good positive way to spend some time. And it's good for people of all ages, really. Okay, so just curl that around like that. Okay, and then we can take his hands and just snip this off a little bit here, and make it look like his hands is in his pocket, or hands are in his pockets. We can take a little piece of clay like this, flatten it out a little bit, and just put it over his hands, and that makes it look like he's got his hands in his pockets. There we go. Now we'll work on his head a little bit. Oh, let's go ahead and do his feet first. So just roll a little needle or a little oblong shape like this, and put that there for his foot, and then his other foot here. Like that, and then we need a cuff for his the lower part of his pants. Like that. And you see how that's coming together. There we go. And then just take this tool and just blend it in and tighten it up a little bit here around his face. Okay, I'm just turning his head now a little bit to give him more of a relaxed look instead of just standing there all jacked up. And I'm going to give him the appearance of closed eyes by just making a slit here. Okay, so I've moved his head down just to a little bit to the left, and pointed it down a little bit. When you're sculpting a piece, it's nice if you can make your piece look relaxed, if at all possible. Okay, so now I'm just sort of shaping it a little bit to make it a little bit better looking. It seems to me like he should have a hat on, since it's looks like he's got a raincoat on. He should have a hat on, maybe with the brim coming down over his eyes. Might look pretty cool. So I'm going to take a round of clay, and I'm going to go ahead and score it with the blade, like I showed you before when we put the head on, just to make it a little bit more sturdy. I think I'm actually going to cut just the top of his head off there a little bit so it fits better, and a little bit of water on the brush on both sides. And then what I'll do is I'll make the rim of the hat by rolling a noodle like this that will go all the way around, and I'll show you what I'll do with that. If the rim is coming down around the eyes, then I would want to flatten it here like that and blend it in here, and then bring it around like that. So the rim would go up actually here like that and down over the eyes like that. So he looks like a cool cat. He looks like a alley cat. To make a rim, not a rim, but a band around the hat, you can just go like that, and then you can just carve it out like that, and then adds a band around the hat. You can do the same on the back side. And there we go. Now, to make it all smooth and everything, we'll take your paintbrush, and since this is a small piece, we'll get some water on the paintbrush, but then we'll dab it off on the table or a towel or something like that, and just that way we don't want to muddy it up by putting too much water on. So we go around and just paint the figure with water, and it'll smooth it out. It takes a little while to do this, but don't be sure if you're doing this not to put too much water on the brush, because it will muddy up the and mess up the work. This takes a little bit of time, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's not going to take all day. It should just take 10 or 15 minutes to go around and take care of that. And then when you're all done and you got it to where you like it, I recommend signing your work. So I'm going to sign this. I'm going to sign it right here, and you can sign it as small as you want or big as you want. And get my signature on here. You can put the year if you wish. Like that. And that makes it yours. And that's it. That's how you sculpt a figure in clay. If this is actually a miniature figure in clay. And he turned out really pretty cool. And this is a standing figure, which probably would not, if you can imagine this without the wall behind him, it probably wouldn't have worked very well, the little tiny legs would not have supported his body very well, so that's why we did it this way. If you ever have any questions, please send me an email, get in touch with me. Be happy to try to help you. Please subscribe to my channel and visit my website at jacobfolger.com. Thank you for watching.